Oasis Audio presents Reading Magic by Mem Fox. Read for you by Mem Fox.
Forward. I'm excited. Since Reading Magic was first published in 2001, reading aloud to young children has taken off in ways I'd never dreamt possible. Rather than being viewed as a mildly pleasant educational activity, it feels now as if the entire world is in a frenzy about reading aloud for a variety of reasons. The mood has changed, attitudes have altered, even the perceived benefits have expanded, especially in the realm of brain development. Reading aloud is a buzz phrase around Australia and internationally. Everyone's excited, not just me. In the last few years, I've listened to or worked with many people who are passionate about spreading the read aloud message from their own standpoint. Pediatricians, speech pathologists, child psychologists, social workers, librarians, economists, childcare workers, bookstore owners, politicians, teachers and researchers, carers, media personalities, parents, and other passionate individuals. Every person, every group, and every government official I met was, and still is, working hard to bring home the message that reading aloud to children before they start school is a win-win situation for all concerned. It all boils down to economics in the end, which is a little dry, I'll admit, but the idea is that reading aloud to our babies and young children will make the entire country better off. Governments now realise that by providing attention, time and funds to promoting early literacy, less of their budgets later will need to be spent on illiteracy, crime, depression, unemployment and welfare benefits. The cost-effectiveness of reading aloud to the very young is phenomenal, and governments love that kind of read-aloud news. It stands to reason that if we're able to raise happier, brighter children by reading aloud to them, the well-being of the entire country will ramp up a notch. Children who realise in their first few weeks and months of life that listening to stories is the purest heaven, who understand that books are filled with delights, facts, fun and food for thought, who fall in love with their parents and their parents with them while stories are being shared, and who read aloud for 10 minutes a day in their first 5 years, usually learn to read quickly, happily and easily. And a whole lot of goodness follows for the entire community. Great news, isn't it? No wonder I can't contain myself. Since Reading Magic was first published, 2 topics in particular have consistently grabbed headlines: phonics and boys and reading. Both are of huge concern to parents. I mentioned them several times in the first edition, but not in depth. I'm delighted to be able to discuss them in greater detail in 2 new chapters in this edition. I've also included for the first time a list of 20 classics that babies, young children, and you will adore. Now let's get on and change the world, 1 page at a time. Chapter 1. The Footbook Miracle. In 1975, our daughter Chloe came home from school in a state of excitement and said, "I can read." She was 4 years old and had been at school for 2 weeks. We smiled indulgently, as parents do when they think their child is cute. Read? She had to be joking. She ran to her room and came back with the Footbook by Dr. Seuss, one of her favourites at the time, and read it to us word for word, with expression. We were beside ourselves. But could she really read? We'd read that book to her so many times we thought she might have memorised it. We hesitated, not wanting to dampen her wild enthusiasm, then bravely opened the book at random to see if she could read a page by itself, without reciting the whole book by rote from the beginning. She read that page, and another page at random, and another. At the time, I was a college professor teaching drama. I knew nothing about the teaching of reading. In my eyes, I was only a mother. I rushed to Chloe's school the next morning and told her teacher what had happened. "What did you do?" I asked agog. "What method did you use?"
To keep listening to this audiobook for free, click the link in the description. It will take you to a free Audible trial where you can listen to this and many other books for free for 30 days.